Now we're going to work on our hip stability, another ball and socket joint that is very mobile and can cause a lot of problems. So we're going to work on getting that stable by um, we're going to rotate, use the we're going to use the calf bone, the lower leg, as a windshield wiper, and then we're going to flex and extend the knee like that, keeping our thigh bone in the same plane. So when we windshield wiper this, the lower leg, the upper leg is going to rotate. It's rotating in the hip joint, but we don't want it to move in a different plane. We just want it to rotate. And then when we flex and extend the knee, that we want to keep that the hip joint just staying there, just using it to stabilize it, just using the hip as a stabilizer, not mobilizing it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get on our fours like so, and we're just gonna rotate, windshield wiper that. And a lot of times when you rotate it out, you might have a tendency to go like that. Keep the spine still, keep the hip still, keep that thigh bone in one plane, and rotate that. You could start small and build your way up, or start big and keep it small. And then we're gonna rotate that. We can do it on the other side. Really feel out what's going on in your hip when you do this. If you feel it getting tight, breathe, and then move it on the out breath. All right, now we'll do it like so. Bring your hip up like that, and you could hold it like this. Okay. So we don't want it to be like that. Don't want it to be like that. Let's keep it, 90 degrees. And then we'll work on rotating. You probably real photo in your butt there. Rotating. Flex and extend. Flex and extend. We can extend all the way. And then rotate. Try to keep the back soft. Okay, now we'll go other side. Keep that thigh bone in the same plane, and as you extend this really far, it'll be really hard to keep the thigh bone in place. So you don't have to go all the way. If I go this, eventually, my hamstrings get tight, and so my hip is going to move.
and you can work on extending that range over time. But in the meantime, you don't want to push too much. Feel that pelvis on the floor. All right. So hopefully that brought some more awareness to what's going on in the hip joint, so you can keep that stable. And when you move that upper leg, the hip doesn't have to move. Of course, in some movements, it's going to move because your hips are powerful and you want to incorporate those muscles into it. But you don't want it to move if it doesn't have to. You want to be able to stabilize it too. So, this mobility and stability, they kind of exist on a continuum with each other. In order to mobilize some joints, you have to stabilize other joints. So the hips and the shoulders, are very important to be able to stabilize if you want to move your arms and legs pain-free.